How you all doing? This is Nathaniel Soap and today I want to talk to you about William Anderson. William Anderson is my uncle. He is also the athletic director at Lamar Norman College, an HBCU in Memphis, Tennessee. And, he's a great man, great leader. Used to be the men's basketball coach, helped the men's basketball team get to two got to two conference tournament championship games, almost getting his team to the NCAA Division II tournament. He also was the women's basketball coach. Since I can remember as a child going to Memphis and seeing him coach AAU, being around very talented players in the city of Memphis. I always wanted to be like him. I always wanted to get into coaching. And in Chicago, where I grew up, when I graduated high school, then graduated college, I got into coaching. And the reason I got into coaching was because of my uncle, William Anderson. Of course, like I said, I wanted to be like him. So I got into high school coaching. I wanted to get into college coaching. And I started going to the University of Iowa basketball camp. It's also where I met Riley Hernandez, who's a great coach as well. He's now the head coach at Seward County, and he eventually will be a Division I basketball coach. But like I said, I got into coaching because of William Anderson, and when he became the men's basketball coach at Lamar Norman, I began to send him players as I got big in the, just as far as getting more involved into the men's basketball side. And not only did I start sending men's basketball players, but also started sending women's basketball players as well. One of the best players I would say I sent was Jaquan Lawrence. Jaquan Lawrence is a 6'9" kid from Chicago. Went into the gym. I believe it was on 50 right off State Street, I believe it was off 47th. Right off 47th the State, there's a park district over there. And I walked in there and there was a 6'9" kid just shooting on the side. And he's 6'9", so I was seeing him shoot and just, dunk, and I was just like, yo, what college are you going to? What college offers do you have? He's like, I don't have any. And so I called my uncle, told him about Jaquan. And, Jaquan ended up going down, was one of the top freshmen in the conference. From there, his assistant coach, Tony, recruited a point guard from Hyde Park High School. Then he ended up recruiting a power forward, Torrey Mason, from Daly College, who was one of my former high school athletes. So I was able to help Torrey transition to going down to Lamar Norman. Then through Jaquan, he recruited a really good guard named Sparky from Bogan High School, who ended up going prep, but he still didn't have any offers, so he ended up going to Lamar Norman. And his also, after getting Sparky, getting Jaquan, his younger brother came. And then Sparky ended up getting freshman, was one of the top freshmen in the conference as well. I believe he got freshman of the year that year. And so with Sparky's younger brother, Jaquan, Torrey, two very talented players, JUCO players from Memphis, that team made it to a conference championship game. They're a very talented team, had a winning record. And then the following year, there was a kid named Kenneth Perkins. Kenneth Perkins was like a 7-foot, real skinny kid who just wouldn't stop growing. And when I knew Kenneth, he was about 6'3", 6'4" in high school at Dyer High School. And, just a really, very athletic, quick kid that could block shots. Didn't really know if he wanted to be a guard or a forward. And he ended up going, he went to Dyer to his junior year, got about 6'7". Dyer closed down. Then Kenneth grew from 6'7" to like 6'9". And he transferred to North Lawndale, which is one of the top high schools at that time, high school basketball programs in the city. And at North Lawndale, he had a really good game against a D1 athlete where he shut the athlete down on the defensive end, scored, did really, really well. He ended up going to Butler Community College in Kansas, but he got in trouble. But while he was at Butler, he got recruited by DePaul in Wyoming. And at Butler, Kenneth grew from like 6'9" to I would say like 6'11", 7 feet. So he just never stopped growing. He just got taller and taller. So Kenneth had some eligibility left after sitting out after Butler, and I told my uncle about him. Then he recruited him and brought him down to Lemoore. So at that time when Kenneth was there, I believe my uncle had a starting five, all from Chicago. And I had came down to Memphis, watched the team play, and I was staying in a hotel right outside of Memphis. And my uncle sat me down, and before he let me out the car, he was just like, you do a really good job of helping kids get to schools that a lot of coaches really don't know about. You need to start a recruitment company. And I was just like, no, man, I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know if I want to start a recruitment company. I just like, helping people get to college. You know what I'm saying? And my uncle was like, man, no, you need to turn this into a business. And he showed me this white guy in Arkansas, I believe, that had a recruitment company, but he was only promoting like all-American players that people already knew about. And he was like, you know what I'm saying, this is what people usually do. They usually promote top players, you know what I'm saying, that people already know about, that's going to Kentucky, going to Duke. He said, but you know about great players that don't have opportunities that can help schools out. And he kind of gave me the layout of how to do it, how to start a recruitment company. And I kind of took it from there. So that was the beginning of Swope's athletic recruiting and scouting. And he was telling me, I need to really do the scouting thing, like create a top 25 or players like that. But I didn't really want the scouting thing. I kind of more so like just the recruiting thing. The scouting thing is kind of tough because in Chicago, man, if you rank a kid too low, it can really not be so good as far as parents talking about you or players talking about you, like, who is this dude? Why is he ranking? Who is he to be ranked? Chicago basketball is tough. You know what I'm saying? The community of Chicago and Chicago basketball, not just in the city, but in the south suburb, which is a black suburb, and the west suburb, which is a black suburb, and they have a lot of talented players. It's really tough. And then Chicago is really segregated, so the white basketball players are completely separate, have their own AAU teams, have their own scouters, their own recruiters, so it's like completely separated here in Chicago. But so I just did the recruitment thing, and that's, like I said, that's the beginning of Swope's Athletic Recruiting. And the reason I'm talking about this, because if it wasn't for my uncle William Anderson, I would have never started a recruitment company. So I want to thank him for motivating me to start a recruitment company. Since starting a recruitment company, it's been going so well that necessarily I really don't even coach anymore. I just strictly do recruiting. And it started out with kids in Chicago. One of my first clients was a girl named Destiny from Hyde Park High School. And one of my first clients after actually starting an actual business was Destiny from Chicago. And I sent her to a JUCO in Michigan. And from Michigan, she went to an NAIA in Georgia. And it kind of picked up from there. A lot of people, she would tell people ask her how did she get to that JUCO. She would tell people she started a recruitment company, and they would reach out to me in that Michigan area. And then when she was at Georgia, people would ask her. So it started with Georgia, but it really grew in Michigan. And then from Michigan, it grew in Michigan. Of course, more and more people in Chicago reached out, especially in the south suburbs. So I would post my stuff in the south suburbs. And there was a couple of guys that really talked about me and posted me, like, who is this dude? Who know this guy? You know what I'm saying? They would really talk about me, but eventually it grew in the south suburbs as well. And one of the biggest things I would say that my uncle does is introducing me to college coaches. He took me to the Final Four in Minneapolis, where I met Tubby Smith. I met a lot of D2 coaches, NAIA coaches, especially the HBCU coaches. And that really helped with my communication and just being able to talk to people and getting on the phone and talking to Tubby Smith. Not only that, meeting the head coach at Florida State University. He's been a great mentor as well. And meeting the head coach at Tennessee State. I could just text my uncle, do you got this coach's number here? Send it over. And he's been really helpful as far as, allowing me to, even when I started as a official business, allowing me to send players to Lemoore Northern, not just, it didn't just start with just the male basketball players, it was the female basketball players. Then it grew to sending volleyball players. Now it's growing to sending softball players to Lemoore Northern. So without his contact also at Lemoore Northern, I couldn't, it wouldn't, he's been a really big help helping me introduce the coaches, helping me get athletes in even after I turned into an official business. And I just never thought it would grow to what it is. Like at first I was sending kids to college for free. Now people are paying me up to the range of like $1,000 to do something that I just like to do something like sending emails, texting coaches, and sending kids to college. I just never thought it would be, to where it was, And like I said, it just all started with my uncle seeing something in me and saying, you need to really turn this into a business. And who knows what can this grow to in 10 years? Like, could it be as big as NCSA? Maybe, maybe not. But the fact of having something to where people reach out to me and don't even meet me all the way in another state and will send me $1,000 just to help send their kid to college just because of, the resume and what they seen and, because they need help. So now I have clients in New York, as far as Denver, Colorado, California, Florida. I've also helped a kid get to college all the way in New Zealand, a kid from Jamaica. Now I have communication with a guy from Trinidad who's saying that, they need a lot of help getting soccer players from Trinidad to colleges in the States. Met a young lady who has 2 sons that play soccer in South Africa. So now I'm growing internationally, And that's all thanks to my uncle, William Anderson, who saw something in me. And, like I said, I just want to thank you for motivating me to build a business. I want to thank you for, really giving me guidance on my career, even with coaching. With coaching, I decided to go into teaching and physical education. And because you were such a great mentor, and not just a great mentor, but just a great black man, you've helped kind of guide my career without even knowing it. I wanted to be a coach just like you. And through coaching, I became a teacher, a physical education teacher. And becoming a teacher kind of, saved my life. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to get into. So I got into physical education. And I've been in physical education going on 13 years now. Like, I just bought my first house. Like, I was struggling. Like, I started off as a math major, and I got into calculus 3. And when I got into calculus 3, I struggled. So I wanted to switch major. I didn't know what, but somebody told me that physical education is, just like coaching. So I got into physical education, but I didn't really know about engineering since I was good at math. And with physical education, and teaching, you get a lot of days you can take off. You get summer breaks, winter breaks, and a lot of times you just need that mental break. I wouldn't have got that as an engineer or anything else. So even though teachers don't make as much as an engineer, but it's good money, like it's good benefits. And my uncle, William Mans, like I said, I just want to thank you for being a great person, being a great teacher, a great mentor. And like I said, you don't know, and I'm telling you now, I could, and I've thanked you in person, but like, you really guided my career without knowing. I not only wouldn't have been a coach, I'm a coach because of you. Not only I'm a coach because of you, I'm a teacher because of you. Not only am I a teacher because of you, I got this business that's going well and helped me meet so many people because of you. So I just want to thank you for being a great mentor and being a great person. I love you. I appreciate everything you do. Good luck, as an athletic director at Lemoore North. I hope you continue to grow. Thank you for inviting me to the conventions, the athletic director conventions. Thank you for continuously put me in a circle and meeting coaches. You know what I'm saying? You have a great circle. You know a lot of people, and thank you for putting me in that circle. Because you know what I'm saying? You never know. I could have messed that. I could have messed things up for you, but you put your neck on the line for me to help me meet great people. So I appreciate and love you for that. And you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to say, you know, like I said, I just want to say thank you, man. I appreciate you for everything that you do. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is Nathaniel Swopes of Swope Said It. You all have a great one.